What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video. Today we're gonna take a look at Daredevil from She-Hulk, and I can already hear it. They hate She-Hulk, and that is fine because I didn't watch She-Hulk. However, I do love Daredevil, so it wasn't a hard decision, honestly. I was gonna wait till it goes on sale, but I can't take the risk because these things never go on sale anymore. So I decided I'm gonna jump on this. I love Daredevil. I have, I don't know, 6 Spider-Mans, 5 Batmans, 1 Daredevil. I love the guy. Yes, this is not the traditional suit, but who cares, right? Like, if you like something, you go get it. And I got it, and I couldn't be happier. Love the figure. Again, haven't seen the show, doesn't want to see the show, but the fact is Daredevil wore this suit, early on in the comics. Maybe this is the only chance I would see Daredevil in this outfit, and could be a variant. I don't care. I'm gonna get it. The stand overall in this Daredevil is a decent figure. It's not what you would call like a newer figure, so to speak. It doesn't have that feel. It doesn't have rolling eyeball system. It doesn't give you any of the new spice. However, I would say as a figure, it is an improvement towards the older Netflix Daredevil, which I do love. I love that figure for various reasons. It's because it's Daredevil, but you can see right here, it is an interesting colorway. They call it the ketchup and mustard, but again, he did wear yellow and red in the comic books. Let's take a look at the accessories here. It feels like a figure from the 2000s. So you got the fisted hands, the billy club hands, kind of like the gesture hands, as I would want to say, kind of like reaching or fighting and all that stuff. You can see on the glove itself, you see some damages, some weathering, and on the back side, the leather pattern of gloves, you see some stitching, not stitching per se, but the effect of stitching in there. This is another, I would say, gesture hands, more of come here kind of hands. And then you got 3 types of billy club now. One is kind of fused together, pretty similar to the previous Daredevil, the one that we have. The only difference is the other one has a wire now, so you can post it around. This one, you could put it on the side of his pants. There is a slot to that. But yeah, this is the difference now. The previous one is connected as well, but it's more loose. But this one, they probably see the custom, so they decided, hey, you know what? Let's put a wire on this. And the wire is pretty good. You can post it around if you want to. But the biggest piece of accessory would be the Matt Murdock head sculpt. And initially, I thought the glass wouldn't come off. His glasses are nice, and mine has like a dirt in there. I can take that away. But I wish it was metal. I wish it was made out of metal, kind of like Edith from Spider-Man, because it just feels flimsy. And if you sit on it, for example, it's on a couch, not knowing it's there, you accidentally sit on it, it'll break easily. And as far as the base, he comes with, the typical hexagonal base with the just the stand, the cradle there, which is good enough for me. Tailoring wise, this feels awesome. A lot more. It feels like the same texture as the previous Daredevil, but I can't help but notice that the material is thinner, and also it is more flexible. So you could do some poses that you probably would have a hard time doing on the first one, especially on the legs. I don't know, and there's not even a separation. Normally you'd see it on the shoulder and then from the inside. This has the looks of a thick rubber suit, but has the feel of a Spider-Man suit. And you can see his boot, also another improvement. Unlike the first Daredevil, you see the cut. This one has no cut, but the boot itself is, how should I say it? A soft rubber that you could kind of have some ankle movements inside. So that's a pretty good deal out there. The proportion of the body seems a bit weird for me initially, even in the prototype, because he just looks a bit chunky. You know, like big waist. Shoulders are broader. Arms are a little bigger, I would say, as well. But you can't help but notice the body itself, especially the abdomen section, is a bit larger. I guess that's just how the suit is. You know, even on the show, because I've seen some stills, it didn't take away anything for me. And the head sculpt, initially I thought the faceplate was removable. It's not. And I thought it didn't look like the actor Charlie Cox, but it does. There is no replaceable faceplate here. The eyes are darker for sure, like a blood red on the figure. And on the mask itself, there's a lot of weathering as well. You can see like speckle of silver paint. It gives you the effect of that is the base paint and it's peeling off because, you know, he got into a fight and whatnot. And then on the side of his mask, it gives you that, you know, vibe that it is the same texture and material as the rest of his suit, which again it's not, because on the collar it is consistent to the texture of the overall suit, yet on the mask, and he does have like this yellow and silver kind of fabric looking, and they did an amazing job of blending that in from the mask, which is plastic, into the rubber suit itself. I think it has the good likeness, a great likeness, I would say, to the actor and the stubble. And now let's move on to the actual head sculpt of Charlie Cox. I think it looks pretty good, especially with the glasses on. It doesn't have purse because he's blind. Maybe a little bit darker, if I have to critique it, a bit darker shade of 5 o'clock shadow. I'm not a big fan of the expression where you can see his teeth. However, as you can see from the screenshot that I did, that is kind of how the actor has his expression. That is like his resting face, where his mouth is kind of open. So I guess they follow that. But if you were to ask me, I would maybe just close the mouth. The hair, nicely sculpted. I think there's good likeness to the actor itself. It's not perfect, but again, with the glasses on, definitely he has a receding hairline as well, and I think they captured that a lot more than what they did with their Joker. And we're gonna take off his glasses here, just to show you him without the glasses, if my camera is gonna focus. But without the glasses on, it's a bit iffy. Thankfully, I'm not going to display him without the glasses on, but you can see, but the eyes have a dead stare on it, those blank canvas looking eyes. It's because he's blind. But I think even without the glasses on, the likeness is still good. Again, from the side, the teeth is not much of an issue. It's just head on. It's just kind of weird, like this derp looking look. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how the head sculpt turned out. You know, like, again, I guess the only question is that would I display this with the head sculpt on? Because I do have the other Daredevil. Or would I hit bash another Daredevil, you know, to just make use of that head sculpt? Articulation wise, with arms, you will have no issue whatsoever. These arms, they're not even separated at the shoulder, yet you do have those movements. There's a lot of details in this suit, but overall, if you like posing, you can bend it backwards. There's a rotation on his bicep, full bend on the elbows right there. Like I said, this suit is amazing. I don't know if I'm gonna post this and it's gonna bounce back, but it does feel that way. You still have waist articulation because they are separated on the shirt. You can pull him back, you can put him forward. As far as the legs, it could kick pretty high. And I see it on a sideshow when they did their posing, he could actually kick pretty high as well. The knees can bend. So I would say any posing, if you are a poser, this would be a dream, because you could pretty much do all of that, the threads on the shoe. And like I mentioned earlier, you can move, the ankles left and right, but there is an ankle articulation, surprisingly. There's no toe though. That one I did try. No toe articulation, but in the head, it's a fixed neck joint, so but still, you could still do some movement on the head, move him up, down, left and right, but overall, you would have fun posing this figure. Speaking of posing him, let's pose him in this different shots. This is in the parking lot. I couldn't find a good picture from She-Hulk to use as a background, so I just went to the good old Daredevil one from Netflix. That's the reason I bought this figure anyway. There's things running on my head that, hey, maybe he did, fight in Netflix with this suit. So plus it's just a fun figure to have, so. And here he is again in the hallway. If you guys remember that scene where he fought all these bad guys, and you see the dust floating around and him kind of like inviting them over, and the head tilted down because he's blind. So he's trying to, I guess, get their location by listening to them. And I always feel like I have to turn Daredevil's head sideways to give that look where he's not really staring at the enemy, but instead listening to his surroundings, trying to guess their location. And again, tilted head. And this is more of a pose on that poster, that promotional pictures from She-Hulk, but with a mask on. This one I decided, let's give him some human touch in his apartment where the mask is off. That's the reason for this pose. But I'm thinking I'm just gonna buy a third-party body with a nice suit. Maybe get the Lawyer 2.0. That's gonna be too expensive. I'll just kit bash my own, just to utilize the head, because it feels dirty just leaving him in the box. Final thoughts on this Daredevil. I love it. I love the character. The suit could be better, but with that being said, I am gonna get it. I'm a fan of the character. I'm a fan from MCU. I'm gonna disregard, the She-Hulk. If that reminds you of that figure, of this figure, that scene, then maybe don't buy it. But if you're a fan of Daredevil from the Netflix series, this is the second Daredevil. Like I mentioned earlier, I buy multiple Spider-Mans, multiple Batman, Iron Man, a ridiculous amount. I know it's still 280, maybe 300 out the door, but it's Daredevil. I have a soft spot for him. I'll buy him and Punisher. You know what? I know that Daredevil Born Again is around the corner, maybe next year, but we're looking at 2 years from now. So that Daredevil is going to come out next year. We're going to wait another year to get the figure from Hot Toys. So we're talking about minimum of 2 years here. In the meantime, I'm going to enjoy this figure. Just kind of like how I enjoyed the previous Daredevil. Now, if you don't have a Daredevil yet, this goes on and off at Big Bad Toy Store. So I'm going to put the link. Or if you're not subscribed, I would suggest subscribe to the channel, because anytime that a figure pops up, Big Bad has like this random drops that happens. Just make sure you're subscribed, that notification, because right now I think an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man just became available, so I posted it. Who knows, maybe tomorrow it'll be gone. But if you're interested in this figure, check the link down below. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you like this video. Click the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.